Hello, welcome to another talk on money, business, and investment. My name is Jose. I'm the founder of the company and brand here at Master Investor. If you're new to our community, ensure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you know when we go live or upload a valuable video or talk like this one that can change our lives forever. Remember, it's all about putting the information that we're getting from our mentors into action, okay? If we don't do that, then it's just information for us. It's not even knowledge. Knowledge is the information that we obtain and actually apply in our lives. That's when we can call it knowledge. So make sure that whatever information we are getting from here, we're putting it into a plan of action for our lives. Our mission at Master Investor is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity through high-quality financial education made simple. We look at opportunities to build passive income and true wealth. Understanding the basics of business and investing is essential in order for us to create total freedom. In fact, as a business owner and inside investor, ultimately our reward is total freedom. As long as we do everything ethically and accordingly to the mission of the business, because at the end of the day, every business is created to solve a problem in the world. So what is the mission of the business that we are building? It's something that we need to have clear from the beginning. There are 8 integrities that we must establish in order for a business to be successful. And if we're going to acquire an existing business, which we will, because the goal is to continue to accumulate assets in our assets column, whether we are building them ourselves or whether we are buying them from other business owners, right? So we are in the business of acquiring assets, of using OPM, debt, other people's money. That's what OPM means, to leverage ourselves to riches, because not only taxes are a lot lower when we're using debt and passive income. When we use debt, it's tax-free, okay? All debt is tax-free because money is created with debt. So a lot of people don't understand that. They're afraid of using debt. All they use debt is to buy liabilities, and there's nothing wrong with having liabilities, but if you accumulate bad debt and the way you pay for the expenses of that debt is by working hard at a job to earn income, then it's going to be very difficult journey to even become financially free that way, because you're going against the current. There's no way that a person by working hard at a job can beat inflation, okay? Can beat the amount of money that is being printed by the government today and injected into our economy. So we need to get on the right mindset when it comes to building wealth. It's not about cutting expenses. It's not about shrinking. It's not about getting rid of liabilities. Yes, there are liabilities that we may want to get rid of as a whole, but some liabilities that we have in our liabilities columns are things that we enjoy. And that's the whole purpose of being a business owner and inside investors, that we enjoy the things that we love, that we can actually do them because we have the free time to do them. And that is freedom. That is financially freedom. That is literally what it is, right? Because there are a lot of people that have money, but they're not free. So we want to achieve wealth through freedom. We want to always make sure that whatever we're building is going to reward us with total freedom, okay? Don't just chase the money. Today's topic is what is true financial freedom. If you have any questions, let us know. I'll be watching the comments. We're doing a live stream right now, and also we're recording our podcast. So if you're listening to the audio on our podcast, then make sure you go to our YouTube channel, because we have additional data there that might be helpful in your journey towards building wealth. We have many different resources there on our website that you can also have access. We have 3 ebooks: the 10-year rules of money, how to build cash flow with the internet, turn passive income on, and how to invest in crypto to build wealth, understanding Bitcoin and blockchain. We're working on our 4th ebook. It should be released in the next month or so. Stay tuned, because this year is going to be more than extraordinary year. We're going to be releasing amazing content to help everyone here in our community elevate to the next level financially and as a capitalist, right? That's the ultimate goal, to become a true capitalist, to be able to control systems In other words, businesses, because a business is a system of systems, right? So we need to have systems that are doing the selling and telling for us, and the revenue that we're getting from those businesses, we're going to reinvest back into our assets column by acquiring additional assets in different asset classes. We're going to diversify among the 5 different asset classes that exist today. Business is one. The second one is real estate. Number 3, crypto. Number 4, paper assets. Number 5, commodities. They all require financial education. Here inside of our community, we are breaking them all down into different products, such as digital courses, seminars, and videos that will help us understand more about each asset class, because we need to have the information so that we can succeed in each of those asset classes. And not all of the asset classes, not all the assets will produce passive income. Some of them will produce capital gains income, but specifically we want to focus on building passive income, because when we do that, it requires a high level of financial education, so automatically we will get capital gains income, and it will be easy to obtain capital gains income because we do have the financial education to build passive income. Okay, so we will have literally the entire toolkit of an inside investor. Okay, once we master how to build passive income, then we can definitely say we are above the average human being, because a lot of people will never experience passive income, and that is the reality. They will only experience something that is called earned income or ordinary income, and that comes from trading or selling time for money to somebody else, and they own your time at that time that they requesting you to be there. They're controlling your time. So there's nothing wrong with that, because we need great employees and self-employed people to help us in life. But the question is, what do we want out of life? A lot of people are doing things that they don't like to do. So why are we doing those things that we don't like to do? That's the question. That's what we need to solve. And money can solve that as long as we acquire the correct way, as long as we're building it through passive income and capital gains income, meaning that we are actively investing. Then we can definitely see an exit strategy and have a more fulfilling life, because we are thriving on the things that we truly love, on our passions, our talents, our skills, things that make us truly happy inside. Okay, we need to have the free time, and the only way to get that free time is by having assets that we control with our companies. And we're going to actively invest, and we're going to build the business, the brand, and launch our idea into existence. We're going to build our networks. We're going to start building other people's networks. Okay, it's all about building financial freedom, and it requires networks, and it requires intelligence, particularly emotional intelligence. We will talk about that in a little bit, but we need to have the basics of business and investing. That's why we always go back to them, because just like any master out there on any type of field, we always have to go back to the principles, the fundamentals, so that we hone our craft, and we can also help other people become better at the craft. Summary: there's much more to being financially free than simply possessing money. If we have the correct mindset, we can actually define our financial freedom. Wealthy people are not inherently financially free. Remember, there are a lot of people that have money and they yet don't have the freedom. So we have to make sure that we're building our wealth with the real assets that produce excess of cash flow, but it comes with freedom. Okay, we cannot jeopardize on our freedom regardless of the money, because otherwise it's going to be something that will be negative in the future, because you're doing something that you don't love. You want to have freedom. Okay, if the business is producing money and is solving a problem that we're passionate about and has systems in place, then it's going to give us freedom. It comes with freedom. That particular asset has freedom with it, and that's what we want to focus on, because a person can focus on their own assets and will steal all their freedom, right? So don't build something, or don't spend your entire time building something that is not going to give you freedom. People frequently say statements like, if they only had $1 million, they will be financially free, or All of their financial issues will be resolved if they only had the high-paying job. These kinds of remarks are problematic because they imply that financial freedom is the result of owning a large amount of money. It doesn't. It is actually possible to be extremely rich and still remain poor. Even with a large fortune, we cannot truly be free unless we have total freedom. Consider well-known figures such as Nicole Murphy, the former spouse of actor Eddie Murphy, and Ed McMahon from The Tonight Show. Each lost every penny of their millions of dollars. Nicole Murphy spent less than 4 years worth of her $15 million divorce settlement. Towards the end of his life, Ed owed $747,000 in credit card through bad debt and was in danger of losing his Beverly Hills house to foreclosure. It is not simply an issue for extremely wealthy people either. We are frequently mistaken about how much money we actually need, even when we believe that having a certain amount will grant us financial freedom. At least 37% of Americans think they will need at least $1 million saved up in order to retire safely, according to a US Today article from back then. The issue with this is that in many places, $1 million is only good for a few decades or less, and it will only endure 11 years in the state of, let's say, Hawaii, or even Florida less than that, because the living cost is more, the inflation continues to rise. So it's not about the amount of money that we have, it's about how much excess of cash flow continues to come in every single day through our assets. The majority's definition of financial freedom. For most people, and many will run out of money in retirement long before they die if they didn't or don't know how to invest that $1 million. That's what's important. Investing should be part of everybody's agenda. Even if the person loves their job and they're willing to give their entire life to that organization, they still need to master investing, because when time is up for them to retire, they want to be able to live the lifestyle that they had when they were working hard. And since inflation will be higher than when they were working, now they have to even utilize more money to buy the same things that they used to love. So having investing as a tool to maintain your retirement the way you should live, not by shrinking, but rather by expanding, then I think investing should be a priority for everybody. It's just something that is logical. Once we look at the entire game of life, we have to play with money for the rest of our lives. So we have to master it. If you don't master money, the money is going to master you. And a lot of people live like that. Money tells them what to do. For most people, having enough money to retire is financial freedom. They put a lot of effort into their fake assets such as 401k, mutual funds, and work hard all their lives in the hopes of earning their imaginary $1 million or whatever figure they have in mind. These folks are frequently encouraged by their fake advisors to live within their means or below their means in retirement because they won't have reliable source of income outside of their savings and fake investments such as 401k, etc. They put forth a lot of effort throughout their lives, yet are compelled to compromise their quality of life rather than reap the rewards of their efforts. It doesn't feel like financial freedom, and it doesn't make much sense either. What actual financial freedom really means. In actuality, having a lot of money has little bearing on our level of financial freedom. Instead, it is about shifting our perspective. There are two kinds of money problems, both too little and too much money. Which kind of financial issue are we looking for? That's the question. So, the lack of money or too much money? The mindset of abundance against scarcity. There are two kinds of people in the world. Two types of people. Those who think in terms of scarcity and those who think in terms of abundance. By the former, we meant that a large number of people perceive a world that is sparse. They act out of fear because they believe there isn't enough to go around. They are unable to make wise decisions and are prevented from achieving great things by fear. They treat people badly out of fear, viewing everyone as a possible adversary out to get what they have. That mentality is poison when it comes to building wealth. Some believe that there is plenty in the world. They do not believe that there is insufficient for everyone. They actually know that there is enough for everyone to have. They actually believe that there is sufficient for everyone to flourish. When there isn't, we figure out how to make enough. These are the individuals who launch companies, make profitable investments, and fully embrace life. We are frequently the kindest and most giving people we will ever come across. Our way of life is one of true freedom. We are generous. We think of other people. We are considerate. We're always thinking of ways to solve other people's problems, while other people only think for themselves. Realizing that there is richness in the world, we begin to ask ourselves, how can we tap into that abundance? Rather than acting out of fear, we begin to perceive the world and our interactions with it completely differently. Once we possess that question, we can then pursue financial independence. Why? Because we are not controlled by our fear of losing money. It is up to us to develop and learn. Not only can we get our riches financially, but we can also get it physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Financial freedom will be determined by emotional intelligence. We must have high emotional intelligence level in order to master our emotions and transition from a life driven by fear to one of abundance. Understand that on the left side of the cash flow circle is where people trade their time for money. Therefore, money controls your life. There's nothing wrong with being great on the left side of the cash flow circle as an employee and self-employed. We need people in those roles. But the issue is that it is harder for the individual to understand how money works and how to make it multiply through actively sound investing due to a lack of financial education. So the solution is to acquire financial education, even though you're going to work for the rest of your life at that job. Financial education should be part of your agenda because it is going to help us build freedom when it comes to the point where you're ready to retire, or when it comes time for you to shift jobs or whatever that may be. You at least have income outside from your work that will supplement any type of expense that you acquire, and will be inflation. Remember that the world's population operates on the left side of the cash flow circle as an employee and self-employed, and about 3% operates on the right side of the cash flow circle as a business owner and inside investor. So let's become part of the 3% by applying the new rules of money, by utilizing the wealthy mindset and actively invest. The world's wealth is found, 97% is found on the right side of the cash flow circle and 3% on the left side of the cash flow circle. People on the left side of the cash flow circle will have to work to make money. On the right side of the cash flow circle, we're not obligated to work to make money. We have our investments working hard for us. We can see on the diagram above and below that freedom is literally achieved on the right side of the cash flow circle, being a business owner and an inside investor. It requires financial education and actively applying the data into our lives. As an inside investor, capitalist, or master investor, we must receive enough passive income and capital gains income to pay for our living expenses and every expense in our lives. At the end, as a wealthy entrepreneur and inside investor, we master how to obtain everything for free in our lives. There are 7 varieties of intellect or intelligence. Number 1, verbal linguistic. Individuals with verbal linguistic cognitive gift are typically proficient in reading, writing, and word and date memorization. Reading, making notes, and attending lectures are the best ways for them to learn. These folks are primarily left-brained. If this intelligence is robust, a school should be pretty easy. The majority of A students possess high verbal linguistic intelligence. Many go on to work as doctors, writers, journalists, and attorneys. Number 2, logical mathematically. Math is a strong suit for those with this kind of ability. They are at ease with logic, abstraction, and numerical issues. These persons frequently have a dominant left brain. Pupils possessing high intelligence also excel in conventional learning settings and frequently achieve A grades. Many become scientists, engineers, physicians, accountants, and financial analysts in the future. 3, body kinesthetic. These people frequently possess physical gifts. They typically learn best by doing and moving about. The gym, football field, dance studio, acting studio, woodshop, or auto shop are some of the places where this intelligence is displayed. This kind of intellect is frequently possessed by professional athletes, dancers, actors, models, surgeons, firefighters, soldiers, police, pilots, race car drivers, and technicians. Number 4, spatial. This intelligence excels in the arts, design, visualization, and puzzle solving. These individuals are typically classified as right brain dominant. Individuals possessing this particular intellect typically struggle in conventional learning settings. School emphasizing art, design, color, and architecture tend to have greater results with them. These people go on to work as architects, fashion designers, interior designers, and artists. 5, musical. This intelligence can perceive melody, timbre, rhythm, pitch, and other aspects of music. This person can play an instrument and sing well most of the time. This intelligence performs poorly in a conventional educational environment. This kind of individual does best in musical learning contexts, such as performing arts schools. Number 6, interpersonal intelligence. These folks can communicate. They are typically outgoing and popular, showing empathy for the emotions, motivations, and moods of others. An intelligent person with this kind of gift typically performs well academically, particularly in popularity competitions like student government elections. These folks typically pursue careers in social service, education, sales, and politics. Number 7, intrapersonal. Emotional intelligence is another name for this intelligence. This intelligence is concerned with introspection and self-reflection. Emotional intelligence is the capacity to manage emotions and reactions, as well as a thorough awareness of oneself, including strengths and limitations, as well as what makes us special. It is essential to have intrapersonal intelligence in high-stress situations. As a matter of fact, success is practically any subject or profession dependent on intrapersonal intelligence. Establishing multi-intelligence networks to create financial freedom. Go out and network, meet new people daily, and make an effort to provide value to them as we build rapport. Even though it is critical to recognize our skills and shortcomings in terms of intellect, it is even more critical to leverage the strengths of others to make up for our deficiency. In other words, using other people's talents and intelligence, right? Creating a network of many intelligence is what is meant by this. Some people, for example, do not do well in school. This is a result of our low logical, mathematical, and verbal linguistic intelligence. Although we could be the best-selling author and a successful financial investor, we may think this is strange, but the secret to our success is surrounding ourselves with intelligent people. We are best-selling authors, not writers. To assist form our ideas for our financial education here in articles, we continue to collaborate with other writers and entrepreneurs and editors for many years. But the most important thing is that we learn how to sell without selling, using systems, because there are many writers in the world. But can we sell that book? Can we sell that to the world? Is that something that people really want and need right now to solve the problem? And how we're going to provide it to the masses, right? That's the whole point, that we need to make sure that we are building something that will be able to be in people's hands around the world. So what type of solutions do we want to bring forth? And how are we going to solve those problems? What type of systems, right? The one intelligence that every successful person has to possess. This is not to argue that we are incapable of learning, counting, or writing more effectively. Though it is not our natural intelligence, we could learn and master something new. As a result, outsourcing to people with certain intelligence is far preferable to trying to create them ourselves. Having said that, everyone needs to develop one of the 7 categories of intelligence if we hope to succeed. Intrapersonal intelligence is that being ability to communicate with oneself and regulate one's emotions is a sign of intrapersonal intelligence. When an angry individual tells themselves to count to 10 before we speak, for instance, we are demonstrating intrapersonal intelligence. To put it another way, our talks to ourselves before letting our feelings come out. Sadly, outsourcing is not an option for this. It is therefore something we have to nurture. Success requires intrapersonal wisdom, particularly in difficult situations when one may feel afraid or like giving up. In actuality, a lot of those who prospered during the coronavirus pandemic did so specifically as a result of our development of intrapersonal intelligence. We discovered strategies to flourish in the current environment in addition to surviving, but most importantly, thriving. People that are struggling most certainly don't have this kind of intelligence and are succumbing to fear. Everyone has encountered extremely emotional people. In fact, business is all about people. That's why we have to learn how to master ourselves, our emotions, so that we can also help other people master theirs and get them to buy our products and solutions that we are offering them, because we are the authority. We are the ones that are solving the best on that problem that they have. And they can see it because it's authentic, it's genuine, it's a true brand. Highly emotional people frequently say or do things they may later regret because they allow their emotions to rule their life rather than exercising reason. Those who fail to master themselves suffer greatly and are heartbroken. But the most prosperous individuals we know are those who have developed their intrapersonal wisdom. Building a team or network with multiple intelligence to help supplement where we are weak is one of the secrets to success in business and life, according to real business mentors who also happens to be all wealthy people. Business and life are team sports. Emotional intelligence and street smarts. Because emotional intelligence, also known as intrapersonal intelligence, is far more significant in life than academic intelligence. Someone with street smarts can succeed even if they lack strong book smarts. We don't learn how to take chances in life from academic and professional education. It doesn't teach us how to become financially free or how to take calculated risk, which invested requires. It always comes with a risk. Life comes with the risk, but it's always a calculated risk. So the more financial education we have, the better we are at managing risk and understanding the different types of risk that we can endure and take because at the end of the day, we will be protected due to having the right insurance, the right entity, the right team. Everything is calculated, and we are investing to make money, to win money, not to lose money. So it has to be calculated. And believe us when we say this, we won't achieve financial freedom unless we acknowledge that errors or mistakes are simply learning experiences and that risk can be controlled. Similarly, those who are financially successful tend to possess high emotional intelligence, despite having lower levels of educational intelligence. For example, even though their book smarts are lacking, we possess tremendous street smarts. To put it another way, we have the emotional intelligence to overcome fear and take the required risk to develop our financial intelligence and become wealthy. Emotional, no emotionalness. Being emotionally intelligent does not imply being emotionless. Knowing when to let our anger out and when to control it, it is a sign of emotional intelligence. We understand that while feeling wounded is okay, taking foolish action as a retaliation is not. Many of us have known someone who excels in one area of their lives. Let's say math, but lets their emotions ruin other aspects of them. Another example is addiction. Low emotional intelligence is a common cause of addiction. A person may overindulge in food, drink, have sex, or use other type of product as a way to cope with their frustration, anger, or fear. When they are bored, some people spend money they don't have on buying things that they probably don't even need. Emotional control is essential for financial success. Evaluate our ability to control our emotions today when the chips are down. Do we know how to effectively communicate how we are feeling? Or do we consistently let our feelings to get in the way of our success? High emotional intelligence or high intrapersonal intelligence is a prerequisite for success in life, because successful people are adept at controlling our emotions, particularly under pressure. The distinction between freedom and financial independence. Financial independence and financial freedom are not the same thing. As we can see by reading this, achieving financial freedom only requires 3 easy steps. Number 1, or actually acquiring financial independence, because people that have financial independence not necessarily mean that they're free. And let me elaborate that in a little bit. So 3 simple steps for financial independence. Okay. Number 1, we build and purchase assets that bring in money in the form of passive income and capital gains income. Number 2, the money flow from our assets cover our daily cost that we have, any type of expense. Number 3, we are financially free once the monthly cash flow from our assets equals or exceeds our monthly living cost, since our assets are generating passive income and capital gains income for us. We'll be able to achieve financial independence through this, but it won't always grant us freedom. Should we fail to alter our perspective or revert to a scarcity-based, fear-based mindset, it is simple to lose money or investments, or to make poor choices that negatively impact cash flow. Even with a large income, it is possible to become stingy and miserable, which is probably much or possibly much worse. That is not what we call freedom. Money is in charge of it. When it comes to money, the most crucial thing to keep in mind is that what matters is what we can achieve and who we can become with it, not the money itself. To actually be happy, we need more than simply money to achieve our goals. That is what freedom looks like. So once we achieve financial independence, we have to ensure that we're building our wealth with assets that produce freedom. And we will be happy when we are contributing something to the world that we're passionate about. We fill ourselves with happiness when we do that, when we see the world being impacted with our products and services, and is actually improving conditions in those areas that we are targeting. That is something that is very fulfilling, and people need to tap into that more than that they do now. They hardly never helping other people. Majority of people spend their entire day working at a job just for them. They're not thinking about other people and how to solve other people's problem. We need to say, okay, how can I solve this problem that I'm passionate about? How many people that I know right now have this problem? Can I do a poll and see how many people, how many out of 100 people have this problem? And we can kind of see whether that problem has a potential to build a true business and turn it into a brand that can solve that problem forever, generation after generation. So building financial freedom is important, right? Is key, because that's how it's going to allow us to tap into our greatness. Otherwise, you will be wasting your time somewhere else just for the money, thinking that money was the most important thing, but it was your talents, it was our gift, our skills. That was the most important. Who are we becoming throughout the journey? And money is a multiplier. Money is going to magnify who we are. It's going to show to the world who we are. So we need to be prepared. Be liberated to express ourselves with financial freedom. Possession of money is only one aspect of financial freedom. It is the ability to live our lives as we choose and to be who we truly are. And a lot of us forget this because we prioritize other people and take on multiple responsibilities like that of a parent, spouse, worker, friend, and so forth. Not that those are undesirable things. Instead, they are things that frequently stand in the way of us figuring out who we want to be and pursuing that or attracting that, right? Because here at Master Investor, we show everyone how to attract cash flow, how to attract the bag to us. We're not going to chase the bag. The bag is going to chase us over and over again because we have systems bringing those bags to us because we're solving a problem in the world. The incredible thing is that investing in ourselves benefits everyone who loves us, not just us. They witness our example and share in the happiness that accompanies reaching our full potential. We must transform into a new person and let go of everything that has kept us back in the past if we want to be financially free, to become the most powerful, content, or happy and successful as that is possible. One must undergo a process of personal development, progress, and emotional and spiritual fortitude. The real benefit of having financial freedom is that I hope that you are learning about business on today's podcast. Let me know, or this live stream that you're watching here on our YouTube channel. Let me know if you have any questions. And remember, we have to replace maybe things that were taught to us when we were younger by the wrong mentors. And those mentors might be family members, might be teachers, might be people that we love, friends. But we need to adopt the wealthy mindset. It is critical that we start acting like the person that we want to be. If we want to be financially free, then we need to act like the business owner and inside investor, because those are the people that are financially free in the world and that understand the power of freedom. Not just money itself. Money itself is a tool to attract what we want. It's a tool that we have to have in between everything pretty much to be able to make that happen that we so dream about, right? So we need to master money, and money is mastered through understanding what is an asset and a liability, the difference between good and bad debt, how to read financial statements, how to improve them, and how to spot opportunities where others do not. Because we have the wealth entrepreneur eyes. We see the world with a different perspective than the average person. We have resources and tools that we are using that other people are unwilling to use because they are still stuck with the old rules of money. Today, money is created with debt, and debt is money. All debt is tax-free. We have to become friends with debt. We have to use more debt to invest. And then we can use debt to buy liabilities too, but we need to focus on the assets column so that we can pay any liability that we want to have in our lives. So start focusing on self-development and investing in real assets that we are controlling with our companies. Diversify among the 5 different asset classes so that we hedge for inflation and protect ourselves from down economies. I hope that you start expanding your assets column. You'll thank me in a year from now if you start right now, because we have never lived in times like this ever in history where everybody has access to the information. So don't take it for granted and turn that around and make it yours, because literally we all have the information in our fingertips. Like, that is our information if you just claim it. And if you truly want to create true wealth, then you just claim that wealth, because there is enough to go around for everyone. So start building the assets column. Think of other people. Think of how to solve other people's problems and how to put systems together, how to have the right mentors. And don't be afraid of delegating or putting people in place that can do what we need them to do in order for us to move forward with that business. We want to be able to detach ourselves from the business that we're building so that we can go ahead and do another business or do whatever we want with our time, okay? Time, our mind, and our freedom are the most precious assets we have. We will not jeopardize them. We cannot compromise them, okay? We have to take care of our time. Every second that we are living matters. So make sure that we are investing those seconds into the right choices. It's all about optimizing our lives so that we live the best possible life that we can. Thank you for listening to another amazing talk, bringing you the good and bad news of money, the business principles that work in all economies. I'll talk to you on the next podcast, and let me know if you need any help. Today we cover what is true financial freedom. If you'd like to have the article, make sure you go to our website and you can subscribe to our newsletter. It's free, and you'll have an article via email whenever we publish one. That way, whenever we can get to the podcast or live stream, at least we can read it before we go to bed. It's all about becoming smarter than we were yesterday. Okay, so let's make sure we are reading daily, expanding our vocabulary, because as we know, words are the most powerful tools humans have ever created. The more words we know, the more we can lead other people to greatness. We have 3 ebooks right now. Make sure you go get them. Click the link in the description. We have the 10 new rules of money, how to build cash flow with the internet, turn passive income on, and how to invest in crypto to build wealth. Understanding Bitcoin and blockchain, the rise of legitimate reserve digital currencies and assets. You can find all of the ebooks and courses also on Amazon, except the courses are only on our website. So when you go to our website, you'll have additional assets that come with each ebook. So preferably get it on our website, because when you go on Amazon or Kindle, you're just going to have the ebook. You're not going to have the other assets. However, when you get it from our website, you'll have the assets that come with each ebook, and any other asset that we add in there, you will always be grandfathered in to have access for it at no additional cost. So in the future, a year from now, 2 years from now, that particular digital course is going to be worth a lot more due to the assets that we add in, but those assets are going to be free for you because you got in right now. So go ahead and join us on our mission here at Master Investor, and I appreciate everyone participating in our community. Okay, thank you for your time, and stay extraordinary and wealthy. Bye for now.